What's up, y'all? So, I got something on my mind, right? All this talk about, the American dream, right? As a man now, I can say this. As a grown man, I can say this with confidence. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Because when they told us about the American dream, right? They didn't teach us about corruption. They didn't teach us about how racially institutionalized this country is. So, like my mother used to tell me, when I was a kid, put your mind to it, you could do anything, which is true. That doesn't, how should I say it? That doesn't add up when it comes to finances. You know what I'm saying? You could do what you want. You can have your dreams and goals and all that. Run your business. Be a business owner, whether it's running a supermarket or being in the music industry, right? But how does that benefit you financially? Look at everybody that did try to accomplish their dreams, right? Look where they at now. Everybody is fucked. Everybody is fucked one way or another, right? So I could speak on this personally, right? Because one little mistake and the IRS could penalize you, which is what they did with me. And they took, mind you, I was supposed to get back like 2,600 something, right? And I only got back 290, and they kept the rest because of that small little mistake I made. Instead of giving me a small fee, they hit me with the big one. On top of that, it's like, and other issues, you know what I'm saying? Bills that you probably are not for that lead up to like 10,000 in my case as well. So when all that shit adds up, in my mind, I'm like, how the fuck I'm gonna get out of this situation? You know what I'm saying? That's why after the surgery, I went back to work. Ain't trying to do music right now. I'm just trying to save. I'm trying to get into cryptocurrency. But I'm just saving on that too. Like, I'm just trying to hit my mom's over with the rent money, help her out, and then that's it. But you see how bad it's getting. That I gotta hold on to every dollar I get, every deposit I get. I gotta take out 400 right away. Like back in the day, I didn't have to take out 400. You know what I'm saying? Only 200 was good enough. But they don't understand that. You get a better job, the lottery's fixed, so now you gotta pay more rent. You're making more money, more rent, more taxes, right? So how does that equal the American dream? And mind you, like the average, and I'm not trying to be funny or racist and not like that. Like the average African American or Puerto Rican person don't got the money saved up the way the average white person. That's just a fact. Now I'm not saying all white people are rich or nothing like that, but I'm saying our situation is worse because we all come from single family homes, man. Like I was raised by a single mother. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like how the fuck you come up from that and then you know what I'm saying? So many times where we were almost kicked out on the street. So all those situations and then you trying to come out of those situations and then you get hit with all kinds of shit, credit, you know what I'm saying, penalization, all that. So how you supposed to come up from that, right? And people say, and a lot of people in the media would say, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. But at the same time, because of the institutionalized racism in this country and the history of other things, you know what I'm saying? Like we need a little bit more help. And that's what we have social programs for, not so you can do anything you want with it and then try to take it away and then say, oh, you see, these social programs don't work because it ain't helping the people. And the reason why it's not helping the people is because the social programs have been cut. Or the money that's supposed to go to social programs have been cut back a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're lying to us, but we see the lies now. But I'm just saying, like, I see a lot of people just chasing money, and I need money too. But I'm not a slave for it. You know what I'm saying? But to anybody that might be watching, right? All these people who say, "Oh, well, just pick yourself up by the bootstraps. It ain't that bad. It ain't." That's just propaganda. That's just so not true. No, that's so not right to say that because you know our situation. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I could go into even the public school system, like just growing up. Like again, speaking on my personal situation, like being over medicated, being picked on a lot because I was skinny, having all kinds of problems. You know what I'm saying? Like having bad teachers, having good teachers, but then having bad teachers. So all that adds up. And all that will kill your confidence little by little as you get older. Now, I built my confidence back up, but I'm just saying, like, it's not easy. To this day, it's not easy to come up from that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, me personally, I don't see how we're gonna get out of this. If the new mayor of New York City and all the different mayors and governors don't change what's going on right now, if they don't make things affordable, if everything keeps becoming more expensive, then it's just gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better. And anybody that tells you otherwise is lying to you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't you know, it's gonna get so bad. Like, look, a lot of people who come from other countries, they think they're gonna have a good year. That's why they come here. And so they're not paying attention to when they raise their kids here, what they have to go through until they find out later on that they got beat up, stabbed, or they joined the gang or they're selling drugs because they just didn't think America that way. Because in other countries, they're being taught propaganda about America. And they're not being told that maybe the reason why they're poor is because our country fucked their country up and support corrupt politicians that ain't doing nothing for them. So, you know, so they're being, so, like, their mind is in another place. But when they find out their kids are in gangs, then they start saying, oh, I didn't know. Oh my God, you know what I'm saying? You've seen the news, I seen it. Like, and I know for a fact a lot of immigrants don't know their kids are selling drugs. They don't know that. I mean, it's crazy out here. It's crazy. And people are getting killed every day in the city, every day in this country. You know, unless you move to a neighborhood that's financially more stable. Can't think of one right now. Maybe the rural area if you can afford that. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't see like I don't support January 6th. That shit was close call. I don't support the riots of 2020, but that shit was a close call. Like to me, seeing what happened in 2020 and then seeing January 6th, that's like a warning sign that this country can easily turn into a civil war. You know what I'm saying? Could easily become a civil war. And the fact that the people involved in January 6th themselves were off-duty police officers, off-duty military, you know what I'm saying, off-duty state troopers. So this country can easily fall back. And we've seen the history of this, you know what I'm saying? And and the problem with the media is that the media is not explaining that. Even alternative media doesn't give a context of it, at least most of it. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't see, unless, I mean, I know there's communities that stick together, and I think that's what's the only thing that's keeping this country from completely falling apart. And I think that's the way to do it, but not everybody's gonna follow that. You know, thou shalt love the neighbor thing. You know what I'm saying? And I just, from my personal, for what I've been through this year alone, like I'm beginning. I just see that things are gonna get worse, and I don't want to say that because it's being real. It's not being optimistic, and that's what people want to see, the more optimistic things, you know, aspects of America. But I just don't see it. I don't see it, and I'm not saying you shouldn't try to accomplish your dreams. Maybe eventually I'll go back to doing music. I don't know, but it's tough, man. And me, you know, going through what I'm going through before and after the surgery and everything, and losing somebody I know from overdosing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a pretty rough year, and you know, I think I mentioned this before, but it's an opioid epidemic, fentanyl, heroin is still out here. Like America, I think what I'm trying to say is that America is a failed democracy, and anyone that tells you otherwise is lying to you. America is a failed democracy. It's failing. It's failing. It failed before, and it's gonna fall, and it fell, and eventually it's gonna fall. You know, because all empires fall. Because America is being run as an empire. The reason why we're in other countries is because we want to control the world, basically. That's not gonna last too long. China trying to control the world. That's not gonna last long. Russia not gonna last long. All empires are gonna fall. Being that and I'm not defending, you know, the U.S., China, and Russia have been responsible for millions of deaths, but our country, America, has been involved in worse, more deaths. You know what I'm saying? More civilian casualties. You know, more political assassinations around the world. So I think America is going to fall first, and then that's going to create a domino effect. I think eventually Russia. I think I could see Russia falling apart again. China, not yet, but eventually down the line, people are gonna fight back in China. They're not gonna be treated like slaves. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause no human being wants to be treated like a slave. No human being wants to be told, "Oh, you can't say that. You can't say this." Man, fuck it. We're human beings. We can say what we want. So at the very end, China is gonna fall apart too. But this. And the reason why I'm bringing this up too, because everybody on YouTube is talking about what we gotta do, this and that. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Now, I don't have no solution because I just don't right now. But you know what I'm saying, like all I know is America is a failed democracy. It's not really a democracy only by name. It's a form of what we saw in 2020 was America becoming a totalitarian, a fascist, you know what I mean? Forcing people to get vaccinated, forcing people indoors at 6, man, that's something that China's been doing for years, man. That's fascism, you know what I'm saying? So America, it's not a democracy, you know what I'm saying? So we gotta kill that noise right there. But I blame us because the people who do vote, I don't blame the people who don't vote. The people who do vote, they vote for the lesser. No, I mean, I say they vote for either Democrat or Republican. They never vote for anybody in the Green Party, you know, or any other party or any independent candidate. So I blame the American people for our situation. We have to blame us. I don't blame me personally because I've never. I can't remember the last time I voted Democrat. Even when I was a registered Democrat, I was a registered Democrat for a long time, maybe 10 years. When I was 18, I voted for Bill Clinton, and that was a mistake. I never voted for a Democrat since then for president. You know, when George W. Bush stole the election, or his people stole the election, I did not vote for Al Gore. I voted for Ralph Nader, but they blamed us for that instead of saying that the election was rigged, because both conservative and liberals, they love to say, "Oh, look at this country, They're rigging elections. They have no freedom. They assassinate leaders and journalists. But when we do that here, when there's proof that our government assassinates people here, leaders here, journalists here, or they don't want to believe that. No, that's not true. So there's a denial, and that denial spreads into believing that America is not a failed democracy. It is. It is, man. And it's been a failed democracy since since forever. Like, I want to say, well, we know America wasn't a democracy when slavery was around, but I think after the end of the Civil War, when everyone thought they were going to be free and black people thought they were going to be free completely, fake democracy is a failed democracy. And we've seen what happened with African Americans, Native Americans, and Japanese Americans later on. That's not a democracy. So America's a failed democracy. We have to accept that. And unless we stop voting Democrat, Republican, which I don't think we are, it's gonna get worse. And I'm just telling you that. And I would never vote for Democrat, Republican. And anybody that is telling you that, whether it's CNN, Fox News, or the so-called alternative news, they are lying to you. They are lying because they probably receive money or donations from corporations that are connected to those parties, you know. And I do see some people from my community that make it. Not a lot. Like, I'm from Williamsburg. I don't know anybody from Williamsburg that's puffy status. But even if you look at the music industry and you look at the people that are successful, except a few, Snoop Dogg, a lot of them had to do conniving shit just to stay on top. A lot of them did a lot of artists dirty. Puffy, Suge Knight, Luke, like, they all played their artists. So, and these are people from our community. We're not talking Jerry Heller, you know what I'm saying? So even when our own people make it, they feel like they gotta make it by stepping on other people from our community, you know what I'm saying? And who are trying to make it. Like, that business model was probably taught to them by their fathers, or because and their fathers probably fucked up and gangster and all that, or they were probably following the business model of the 60s, which was terrible, you know what I'm saying? Artists didn't receive any compensation. They wasn't making a lot of money. They had to tour like they were homeless. So that's not a good example. Look at how conniving the music industry is. So that's not a good example, you know. But that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, so America is a failed democracy, and we have to accept that. America is not a democracy. It failed. We gotta change it completely. No two-party system. I said this before, like twice already. No two-party system. We gotta have like a multi-party system. No Democrat or Republican. Every other party except Democrat or Republican. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all we gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here to bullshit y'all. You know? Alright, y'all. Peace.